Did you know the world came within minutes of nuclear annihilation? Not just once, but multiple times? The Cold War wasn't just a political standoff. It was a 45-year-long tightrope walk over a pit of atomic fire. We often think of the Cuban Missile Crisis as the closest we ever came, and it was terrifyingly close. But the scary truth is, there were other moments, hidden from the headlines, where one wrong move, one computer glitch, or one misunderstanding could have ended everything. Let's travel back to October 27, 1962, the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis. An American U-2 spy plane is shot down over Cuba. Tensions are at their absolute peak. At the same time, deep beneath the waves of the Sargasso Sea, a Soviet submarine, the B-59, is being hunted by a fleet of American warships. The Americans are dropping depth charges not to destroy the sub, but to force it to surface. However, the crew of the B-59 doesn't know this. They've been cut off from Moscow for days. The air inside the sub is foul, temperatures are soaring, and the crew is exhausted. They believe a war has already started. The submarine was armed with a special weapon, a nuclear-tipped torpedo with the same destructive power as the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The protocol to launch required the agreement of 3 senior officers: the captain, the political officer, and the second in command. Believing they were under attack and that war was inevitable, the captain and the political officer agreed to launch. The world was one yes away from a nuclear exchange. But one man, Vasily Arkhipov, the second in command, said no. He argued that the American signals were not an attack, and he calmed the captain down. He refused to give his consent. Arkhipov's refusal single-handedly prevented a nuclear war that would have triggered a devastating response from both sides. A man you've probably never heard of saved the world. But the danger didn't end in 1962. Let's fast forward to September 26, 1983. Inside a secret bunker near Moscow, Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov is the duty officer for the Soviet Union's early warning satellite system. It's just past midnight when the alarms blare. The system reports that a single nuclear missile has been launched from the United States and is heading toward the Soviet Union. Then another, and another, until the system shows 5 incoming missiles. Petrov's orders are clear: report any launch to his superiors, who would then likely trigger a full-scale retaliatory strike. The fate of the world rests on his decision. But something feels wrong to Petrov. The system is new, and he's been told it's not entirely reliable. A nuclear first strike from the U.S., he reasons, wouldn't start with just 5 missiles. It would be a massive, overwhelming attack involving hundreds, or even thousands. It's a gut feeling, a human intuition against the cold, hard data of the computer. He has minutes to decide. Does he follow protocol and risk starting World War III? Or does he trust his instinct and declare it a false alarm, risking his career and potentially his country if he's wrong? He makes the call. It's a false alarm. He tells his superiors that the system is malfunctioning. For agonizingly long minutes, everyone in the bunker waits. And then nothing happens. The missiles never arrive. Petrov was right. It was later discovered that a rare alignment of sunlight reflecting off high-altitude clouds had tricked the satellites. Once again, one person's judgment, defying the machine, pulled us back from the brink. It wasn't just human error or near misses. Sometimes it was pure technical failure. In 1980, an American duty officer at NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, saw his screen light up with an incoming Soviet missile attack. Not just a few missiles, but a full-scale launch. Panic set in. National Security Advisor Zbigniew Brzezinski was woken up with the news and was moments away from waking President Carter to authorize a counterattack. But just before the call was made, someone double-checked. They discovered the alert was caused by a faulty 46-cent computer chip. A tiny piece of silicon, worth less than $1, had generated a realistic simulation of a nuclear apocalypse. For 10 terrifying minutes, the U.S. military was on high alert, preparing to launch its own missiles in response to an attack that never was. These are just a few of the documented cases. How many more are still classified? How many times did sheer luck or the calm bravery of an individual save us from ourselves? The Cold War's legacy isn't just about spies and political chess. It is a chilling reminder of how fragile our world is and how close we came to destroying it. The weapons that were built during that era still exist today, numbering in the thousands. The threat hasn't vanished, it has just changed its form. Understanding these near misses is crucial. It teaches us the immense danger of relying solely on automated systems and the incredible importance of human judgment, diplomacy, and de-escalation in times of crisis. These stories aren't just history, they're a stark warning for our future. They show that the greatest threat might not be an intentional act of aggression, but a glitch, a misunderstanding, a moment of panic. The stories of Vasily Arkhipov and Stanislav Petrov are not widely taught in schools, but they should be. They are heroes in the truest sense of the word, individuals who chose humanity over protocol, reason over fear. Their actions underscore a vital lesson. In a world armed to the teeth with apocalyptic power, our best defense is not a bigger weapon, but clearer communication, better judgment, and the courage to question the machine. It is a terrifying thought that our continued existence has so often depended on a single person making the right call against all odds. It forces us to ask, are we just lucky, or can we learn from these close calls to build a genuinely safer world? The truth is, we almost did go nuclear, and we owe our lives to the few who stood in the way. Thanks for watching. If you found this look into the Cold War's hidden history as fascinating and terrifying as I did, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shaped our world. Stay curious,